Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. In this video, it will be slightly different than what we usually do. It's not going to be about halal food. Rather, it's going to be an extension of this video. Because this video has actually sparked a lot of idea sharing, concerns and inquiries, so I thought I would make an extension of these videos in order to answer and again share more information about the reality of Muslim living in Barcelona, even in Spain. I will just be limiting to 3 things that I love and 3 things that I hate living in Spain or living in Barcelona as a Muslim. I'm going to make each point really brief. So let's start with point number 1. From the top 3 that I have, I'm going to start with number 3, number 2 and then number 1 of what I love first, and then we'll go to what I find challenging after. So on number 3, I think one of the biggest benefit of living in Barcelona or Spain is the fact that it actually has a substantial, significant amount of Muslims living here. Currently speaking, I think we have about 2.25 million Muslims out of close to 50 million population living in Spain as Muslims. Literally anywhere you go in Spain, even to the smallest village, you can actually find a woman with hijab, and meaning that there are Muslims in almost all parts of Spain. Of course, in some other parts, there are more Muslims than usual, such as Barcelona, where it would have around 600,000 Muslims living here. This helps because when it comes to the mosques, Islamic organizations, Muslims communities, Muslim friends, necessity shops like halal food, halal meat, halal products, you can find this almost everywhere in Spain. In some areas it's much easier to get, in some other area maybe it's harder to get, or maybe you will have to go extra distance in order to be able to access to these halal products or halal food. Now off to point number 2. This is somehow related to the first point I made, but instead of the present Islamic community now, is actually the benefit of Spain having a lot of Islamic history in the past. So I think we all know about the rich Islamic history that they had in the past, and this actually has an impact to the community at present. In what way? For example, the language, Spanish language is, has a lot of similarities to Arabic language. So in terms of grammars, in terms of common words, there are so many shared words between Arabic and Spanish, and this actually helps you to learn the local language a lot faster. And if you are able to learn the local language faster, this actually helps a lot. You can get to know the culture, the mentality, you can start to open yourself up to working opportunities, etc, etc. And of course, if you are a history lover, you would like to explore, you are an adventure, then Spain has a lot to offer that has something related to the Islamic heritage, Islamic cultures, even monuments and landmarks from the past. So it's always great to have these options, activities, something to do that is related to Islamic history. And to my top 1 reason of what I love about living in Spain as a Muslim is, of course, the food, the halal food. Now, Spain is a country that is rich with delicious food, and many of them, so many of them, are halal food. So you can come to Spain and enjoy the culinary culture while at the same time being committed to the Sharia requirement. This ranges from seafood, fruits, vegetables, loads of other recipes that you can do at home that is halal, or in case you would like a standard halal shops such as kebabs, so this type of restaurants, these are also available widely in Spain. So by extension, this is also one of the objective of HalalXP. This channel really try to show you the halal options that we have in Spain. Now, what about the 3 things that I find challenging as a Muslim living in Barcelona? So again, I'm going to give 3 reasons as well. Number 3 would be, despite of the amount of Muslims living in Spain, unfortunately, I think the general awareness to Islam as religion and general awareness to Muslims as a community is slightly lower than what I think it should be. And I think this is not just applicable to Islam as a religion, but also to other religions and its religious communities. Probably the most important factor I would share here is the fact that Spain is more and more liberalized, and the importance on religious awareness is going less and less by day. The way people develop the values are not necessarily from the religions anymore. Hence, the emphasis given to all religions are reduced. Now, due to this trend, I think there are some impacts to all religious communities, including the Muslims. The rise of Islamophobia, feminist movements that limits rights of Muslim women here in Spain. These are all, I think, off roots of this liberalization. And then my top 2 reasons of what I dislike about living in Barcelona. To be honest with you, for the reason number 2, I was going to put it as reason number 1 because it is really, really challenging for me. And it is actually something related to the dogs excretion. To be exact, dogs poop and wheeze. So Barcelona, as well as Madrid, I think, is 2 cities that have more dogs than kids, than children. We know that dogs have to go out and release its needs on the street, and the owners are meant to pick it up or clean it, and not owners actually commit to this. So in the street of Barcelona, there are loads of dog poop, dog wheeze in all parts of the city, and in summer it smells. It's not clean. It looks dirty. It smells dirty. And of course, from our Islamic point of view, we know that najis, impurities, comes in 3 stages, right? The mukhaffafah, the lighter one, mutawasita, the medium ones, and mughallaza, which is the heaviest form of impurities. And dogs and pigs are in the category of najis mughallaza, which is the highest, the heaviest impurities we have, in which if you are exposed to it, if you are in contact with it, then you're going to have to wash it in a very certain way, very specific way to clean yourself. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have a dog, obviously, but just by being in Barcelona, I've stepped on it. I've been licked by dogs, loads of unpleasant experience, let's say. And last but not least would be my top 1 reason of what I dislike about Barcelona as a Muslim is the actual initiative and the unused potentials Muslims community have here in this city, Barcelona, or entirely in Spain as a country. So if we look at Spain and the Muslim population density versus, let's say, UK or even Japan, the amount of initiative, infrastructures, development in halal economy is very, very low. So if you look at UK, for example, it might have a little bit more of Muslims there, but in terms of the Muslim density, Spain is higher. But the amount of mosques, Islamic organization, how the halal economy is established there is really, really different. It's much more developed than in Spain. So for example, here we still do not have halal products, halal meat being sold in supermarkets. The mosque here in Spain, we do have mosques, but many of them are beyond the capacity that it could take. Many mosques here perform 2 Friday prayers just because the entire congregation can't fit in the mosque. Also, another thing about comparison between UK and Spain is that in UK, when it comes to the halal certification, this is really developed, or much more developed than what we have in Spain. We don't have a dominant halal certifications here. Most certifications just focus on import and export activities, but when it comes to the local consumptions, we just don't have a body that we can rely on to ensure that our consumptions are controlled and the quality of halal is maintained. In Spain, as we talk, we don't have pages, articles, websites that help to enrich, make Muslims' life easier, etc., etc. And the way I said, you know, maybe we can talk about it from government incentive downward, or also community, Muslim communities incentive upward, right? So I think it does go both ways. I mentioned Japan, for example. Japan has less than 0.5% Muslims there, but if you were to look up online, there are so many resources about halal tourism, halal food in Japan, probably because they receive a lot of halal visitors there, but so do Spain. Spain receives a lot of halal visitors here, but halal tourism is still something not established officially at the state level here in Spain. And this is, of course, opportunities for all of us to play our role, to take our part, and to be able to capitalize on these opportunities. And that would be it. That would be all that I would like to share. Again, these are points that I've shared in brief. If you have more questions, more concerns, something that I said that you feel needs to be corrected, please just let me know. I would like to thank you for staying until the end of the video. I don't know how many of you will stay until the end of the video, but if you make it until the end, thank you so much for your support. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.